Hey guys, Dan from Wilder Mr. Grey back once again with the debunking ghost videos and the paranormal. It's fun stuff from here on. If you want to go to the first clip, go to this time here. This list is comprised from Slaptam, Kellen, Slaptam. And there's only a couple of clips, but we shall see how they go. We are currently in week 5 of the lockdown. I'm not going insane anymore. I've gone insane. We're going on angry rants. We're looking at stupid videos. Oh, by the way, somebody commented the other day, I can't remember who it was now, that to make the most stupidest top 10 video I can find or think of or seen or something, I can't remember. I'm going to make that in the next day or two, because I've seen some stinkers, let me tell you. So the first one I'm going to go to is not actually a video, it's actually a photograph. I've been asked to do photographs. I've wanted to do photographs for a while, and this is going to be the first one. The rest are going to be videos. This one's going to be a photograph. But this comes from Samuel Rothenberg, who is now my biggest fan from what I can tell from the comments. He commented on my Nukes Top 5, number 10, Paranormal Debunking, Ghost of Carmel main video. He's clearly a fan, because he says, dude, you're an idiot and a fool. You can't just make a claim that someone is faking something without evidence. You need to provide that for it to be valid. Prove that he is faking or shut up. Now, first of all, I commented back, but you will gladly believe it's real, going on his video evidence and his word. Interesting take. He responded, he provides his evidence. It's your job to debunk it. Like those strings attached to the guy jumping out the window. Do more of that, less of, oh, it's fake. I can't remember if I did say, oh, it's just fake. I'm sure I pointed out cuts in the video, but it doesn't matter. And he goes on to say, how do you explain the spirit box recordings? I'm sure I did. That's proof enough for me. But I know ghosts are real. If you do not, try Googling the ghost that screamed. Debunk that. Now, first of all, to the haters who tell me I'm an idiot, and, tell me to shut the fuck up. Do you know what I say to people like that? You're entitled to your opinion. But I looked up this ghost that screamed. And there's a couple of websites I come across. But it was about a car crash which tragically happened in 1984 in Hyde Park. I think it's Vermont or Virginia. I can't remember. Vermont. I don't know American states, so shoot me. And it's basically in 1984, a group of teenagers were riding along in a 4x4 going to a concert, and they tragically crashed, and one of them unfortunately died. I'm not going to go into the details. If you want to look it up, it's tragic circumstances. But the police officer who turned up to the crime scene, or accident scene I should say, started taking photos. Now there's only one photo in this entire case. One photo. No other photos exist. No photos of the teenagers or people involved exist, have looked, so you can't compare notes. But in the one photo is of the crash or the accident, is you can see the car. And there's various things going on in this photo, but one of them apparently is the ghost that screamed. This, by the way, this supposedly the picture or the ghost of the boy who unfortunately died in the accident. And you can see it above the car. And, it's weird. But the main thing, which from reading the case notes, is, like I said, the police officer had it developed. And the guy who had it developed said, you should see this. And then they put the photo out. And then a psychic phoned in. I have big problems with psychics. I'll go into them in another video. But she claimed that's, she feels that's the spirit of the boy who died, because he didn't want to die. Clearly he didn't want to die. And he's leaving his body, he's screaming because he don't want to go to heaven or something. I don't know. And apparently there's also a ghost dog. I can't see the dog anywhere in this bloody... I've looked everywhere. I can't see any dog. Like, the nearest thing I can see to a dog is in the doorway on the back seat. I don't know. Or it might be that thing up on the left. I don't know. There's a lot of stuff going on in this photo which isn't paranormal. And I'll go into some detail with that if I can. Now I'm going to try and break this photo down bit by bit and try and highlight some areas which are of interest to me. Now, the first thing that we can see, this is supposed to be the ghost that screamed. Looking around all this photo, you can see various light streaks there, all over the place. There. The car door frame is duplicated there, and there. We know that this camera was moving when he took the photo, okay? Now, the first thing that strikes me is this is supposed to be the face of the ghost. Now, the proportion of this face is very cartoonish. That's the hairline. That, I think, is supposed to be the nose. That's the mouth, I think. And then the humongous chin. Now, if you point out any human which looks like that, let me know. I haven't seen one myself. And I also as well, apparently there's supposed to be a dog in this picture. I can't see any dog. The only thing which looks remotely like the dog is that thing there. Which, I don't know. I think that is supposed to be the dog. I'm not 100%, but that's the only thing I can see which even closely resembles a dog. Now, we know that this was in 1984. The camera he was using was probably a 35mm camera. It was no digital cameras back then. There's no photo edit. Well, there was photo editing techniques, but there's nothing like you get today with Photoshop. Nothing. But none of this picture is doctored. I can tell her that much. But what, like I said, with the streaks which are going, the light streaks, they're all fading off into that direction. So he was more than likely walking to his left whilst he was taking the photo. This photo wasn't taken on a tripod, it was taken freehand, and you can tell that by the way the light streaks. So the light streaks you see in this photo is because of a slow shutter speed. Basically, with the old 35mm cameras, you had to get the light, to get a good picture with them, especially if you were moving, you had to have a steady hand. You had to sync the flash up with the exposure time rate, I should say, of the camera. Now, you can look up any 35mm cameras, and you had to do that back then with the 35mm cameras. You had to sync the flash with the exposure rate in order to get a good lit photograph. Otherwise, you would have streaks like you see in this photo. That's what happens when you have a long exposure with an out of sync flash. Now, we know when the police officer got there, reading from the reports, I've looked it up, that after everything was done and dusted, they were immediately started taking photos. Now, we can already tell it wasn't on a tripod. I'm going to use this as an example. This is a digital camera, but I'm using an example. So he was probably taking photos, just taking all angles, just taking down evidential photos, basically. Evidential, is that a term? I don't know. Evidence of the not crime scene, but the accident scene. And just dotting down any photo you could take, which might be evidence in court or insurance claims, whatever, of trying to make a picture of what happened. The chances of this number of few things, which, for me, this is my opinion, what I can see in this photo, and like I said, the photograph of the face, the whole face looks way out of proportion. Apparently, I think it's supposed to be showing half the face. That way. I suppose that's supposed to be the angle it's at. Now I've got a weird head anyway, but look at the, my eyes to my ears, my jawline to my ears. That jawline there looks like something from the Desperate Dan comics. So I think it's just, and one of the websites I went to when looking up this photo, the ghost that screamed, one of the comments said, people will probably put this down as matrixing and pareidolia, but they're wrong. Well, pareidolia is a real thing. Matrixing is a real thing, and it's basically where your brain tries to find anything. Our brain has been through thousands, years and years of evolution. Our brain is accustomed to finding eyes, nose, mouth in anything we look at. It's just the way our brain works. We know that much. So I think it's down to a number of things. It's definitely down to pareidolia. Because that dog, well, I think that's supposed to be the dog. I can't tell myself, to be honest. That's the only place in this photograph which even looks remotely like a dog. I could be wrong, but I don't know. I can't see anything else. But and the face, is down to pareidolia matrixing. And the streaks you see is, we know that he's moving the camera as he's taking the photo. You know, I'm not saying he's clicking like that. But he's probably clicking, and as he goes, you know, moves, which he's moving to the left. We know that much because of the way the light streaks the fades out to the right. You know, he's taking photos, and that's that. That's where I think that photograph is. You know, I'm not knocking the tragic circumstances around the accident. They're still tragic, but that's my explanation for that photo. So I doubt you'll agree with me, and if it's fine. Like I said, it's your opinion. This is my opinion. I'm only giving you my opinion. You're allowed to disagree. Now the next one is this. We're actually on to the videos now. I know that was a stupidly long explanation for one bloody photo, but I felt I had to go deep into detail of what I was trying to explain in that one, so apologies. But so we're finally on the video. But anyway, this next one now, I was asked by someone, I can't remember who it was, but I've seen this video once before, and I must admit it does give me chills. It's simply because the sound of the baby crying a lot it's quite creepy. I don't know why, but it's basically a baby is balancing on the edge of his crib, and like almost like something is holding him there. I don't know, possibly, but he's quite in distress for some reason, and I don't think he's actually balancing on it. That's, you know, that is hell of a balance. If he is balancing on it, I don't think he is, and I'll tell you why. But the parents went on national TV, I think it's America, I'm sure it is, national TV, and, you know, they were being interviewed, this spooky occurrence, how, you know, they think some spirit was there holding the baby or something. But there's a couple of things which looks like utter bollocks to me in this video, and I've pointed them out. This one, when the baby falls back into the crib, for about 3 or 4 frames, it disappears. The baby disappears. And I've freeze framed it at where you won't see any baby in that crib. And if you think that little lump on the top left is him, it's not. That's either his pillow or something, because that's there the entire time in the beginning of the video as well. So for those few frames, the baby disappears. Almost like there's a cut. Know how we like our cats. So that's the first one I've highlighted. And then the second one, and on the name, his name is Connor, I'm assuming. On the name on the wall, the C, which I've highlighted, when he falls into the crib, a part of it sort of snaps into a different position. And I said this in previous videos, when you see something like that, it's basically where someone has masked something out using a garbage mat or something and replaced it with not a different background, but in this case, I think for whatever reason there was someone holding him there, so they had to mask the background out while they hold him there, and then when he falls into the crib, they take out the mask, and that's when he goes back to normal, and the mask didn't quite line up. And that to me is what that looks like right there with the C. When you see a snap back, it's because the mat, whatever they did to it, like masked out, they didn't quite line it up properly. And that's pretty much all there is to that video. I mean, it genuinely is a creepy video. It gives me chills because of the sound of the baby crying. But yeah, there's a couple of inconsistencies in that video, which to me it tells me it's bullshit, basically. And, you know, for whatever reason they made that video. Well, people keep saying to me, and I've seen people say this in the comments, why would anyone fake a ghost video? You've seen how many views, the millions upon millions of views fake ghost videos get, the recognition they get, the monetary value they get. That's why you fake a ghost video. Right, this next one is from a YouTuber called Faceless Night. Now, I've seen this on Nuke's Top 5, I've seen this on Slapped Ham, I've seen it on a couple of ones. And when I first watched it, I thought it was pretty cool, and I only watched it once, but since then, obviously, I've gone deep into it. And basically, he was testing his Xbox Kinect out, and you can go through in the Xbox One Kinect. You can go through, and the original Kinect, you can go through different settings. You can have infrared setting, night vision setting, I think, and normal setting, and you get the sort of depth of field setting, which is it's the camera using the 3D setting on his camera to sort of it points out lasers basically. That's why you see that Xbox Connect used in a lot of paranormal investigation, because it points out lasers to find the depth of field 3D in 3D space. So he's going through the things, the settings, and one of them he sees a shadow to his left, just behind him, and then he turns around and he briefly and the shadow disappears. When you look at it, I like I said, the first time I saw it, I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty bullshit. But looking closer at it, the body shape looks familiar to me. Now, I've seen a couple of his videos. By the way, his whole YouTube is mainly gaming centered, but throughout his, I think he's been on YouTube for 8 years. Throughout his YouTube history, he's put up a few videos here and there, like Unexplained Demon, Unexplained Ghost. And like I watched one, he had me with a bloody jump scare, like of an alien, and it was the video was nothing, and then right at the end, bang, little jump scare. So he does make his little entertaining fake videos. He has been known to do that in the past, but this is the one which always gets highlighted on the top 10 videos. So we know he can mess around with effects, and that's pretty much what that ghost in the background looks like. It looks, by the way, when I said the shape of the body shape looks familiar, it's him. If you look at his videos, it's the same shoulder width, from neck to shoulder. Same. It looks exactly like him. It's just him standing in the background and with a green screen. Like I keep saying, there is a lot of stuff you can do with a fixed camera, like this. Back, demon, back! Actually, you can stay. So we do know that he knows how to use visual effects. We know that. And that's pretty much what he looks like. He's green screened himself into whatever, just standing there. He's taken it into an editing, messed about with it, which is take about 5 minutes, placed it in the background and reacted to it. That's all he's done. And I know that, and this always gets pointed out in the top 10 lists, that after this one went viral, because like I said, it was up on bloody Nukes, Slapped Ham, whatever, and people were telling him it's fake, and he made an explanation video, and he did this live on Twitch. I think it was Twitch or YouTube, I can't remember. But he was trying to point out the different aspect ratios of the camera and the different way the camera sees color on t-shirts, because people are saying it was a different time. It was all filmed in one, I totally believe that. And he was trying to explain it, but now in the live version, obviously nothing happens. He was just explaining aspect ratios. But in that one, he wasn't live when he was doing that, and he was just testing out. He made a video and uploaded it to his YouTube. That's all he was doing. So obviously that's when you can add the effect. That's all it is. It's just a simple faded in green screen effect, which can take 5 to 10 minutes to do. And that's it. Right, this last one is another Gettysburg one. I did a Gettysburg one a couple of weeks ago, one of the more famous ones. This one I've seen quite a few times. It's utter bollocks. And it's basically two men. I don't know if they go in there to ghost hunt. I don't know. I can't remember. But they pull up alongside these cannons. And they stop. And then apparently 20 minutes later, they put the text in. I don't believe it's 20 minutes later at all. They see a faded figure walk between the cannons and towards and then disappear.
What is that?
Wish. Oh my god.
No way. What is that?
I have no friggin' idea.
Did you get...
Now, the faded figure, from just glancing at it, is once again just a simple effect. And basically, and I've highlighted it, when they pull up, the last few seconds they pull up, you can see a sort of an exposured footage, or double vision. Sorry, you can see almost double vision of the cannons sort of slip into place as he comes to a stop, and it's basically For whatever reason they started there, I don't know why. They've pulled to a stop.
Here for a while.
He's filmed that area. Had his mate to go, or him maybe, go out around the cannon, walk around the cannon. And then in editing, that's all they've done is splice those two pieces of footage together. And for whatever reason, he went from the point, instead of stopping first and then doing it, he went from the point of just stopping. So that wobble you get of the double vision, that's him blending the two pieces of footage together to make an exposed video. And that's all it is. That's the simplest explanation I can give you. It's just two pieces of footage blended together, and he had his mate walk around the cannon. And it's funny when they see the ghost, or supposedly see the ghost, the conversation they have when they see this ghost is the most Oscar-worthy reaction I've ever heard. I've linked the video. I'll urge you to go watch. It's quite funny, but it's proper bollocks. That's what it is. It's utter bullshit. That was a long video, and I made a long explanation in the beginning. Just that one bloody photo, which I know he's not going to be happy about, but that's my opinion. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know in the comments if you disagree with me or if you agree with me. Tell me I'm bullshit or whatever. I don't care. But I hope you enjoyed. I'll be back again, like I said, in a couple of days' time with the top 10 stupidest videos I've seen. And like I said, I've asked in the comments, I've asked in posts. I am going to make a couple of videos on aliens, conspiracies, all the weird shit. If you're new to the channel, I do these every Sunday. I try to, so leave a sub if you're new. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. And I'll be back again soon. I gotta go. Bye for now.